Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen and welcome back to Cooking Show at Home. Today we are going to the Philippines, a country made of more than 7,000 islands and a cuisine that is full of history, family, celebration, and very bold flavors. Filipino food was shaped by many influences: native island traditions, Malay flavors, Chinese traders, Spanish colonization, American presence, and local ingredients from different regions of the Philippines. But what makes it special is not just the influence from outside. It is how Filipino cooks took those influences and made them completely their own. So today, we are going to look at 10 famous Filipino dishes you need to know. Some are everyday comfort foods. Some are party foods. Some are street foods. And some are dishes that immediately remind Filipinos of home. As always, if you enjoy food, culture, and recipes from around the world, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments, which Filipino dish should I try next? Okay, let's start. Number 1. Let's begin with probably the most famous Filipino dish: adobo. And here is something interesting. Adobo is often called the unofficial national dish of the Philippines. The basic idea is simple, but the flavor is deep. Meat, usually chicken, pork, or both, is braised with vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, bay leaves, and black peppercorns. The result is savory, tangy, slightly salty, aromatic, and very comforting. But here is the important part. There is no single correct adobo. Every family has its own version. Some people like it saucy. Some people reduce the sauce until it becomes almost sticky. Some fry the meat after braising. Some use more vinegar. Some use coconut milk. Some make it with chicken. Some with pork. Some with seafood. And some even make vegetarian versions with mushrooms, tofu, or eggplant. And this is why adobo is such a perfect symbol of Filipino cooking. It is simple, practical, and full of flavor. The vinegar was originally useful because it helped preserve food in a hot tropical climate. But over time, this preservation method became one of the most beloved flavors in the country. When you eat adobo with hot white rice, the sauce soaks into the rice, and that is where the magic happens. Filipino food is very rice-centered. In many meals, rice is not just a side dish. Rice is the base of the meal, and the main dish gives flavor to the rice. So if you try adobo, don't eat it alone. Eat it with rice. That is the proper way to understand it. Next is sinigang. And if adobo is savory and tangy, sinigang is all about sour comfort. Sinigang is a Filipino sour soup, often made with pork, shrimp, fish, or beef, and vegetables like radish, eggplant, string beans, tomatoes, onions, and water spinach. The sour flavor usually comes from tamarind, but other sour ingredients can also be used, such as calamansi, green mango, guava, and this is one of the things that makes Filipino food so interesting. Sourness is not a mistake. Sourness is a feature. In many cuisines, people think food should be sweet, salty, spicy, or creamy. But in the Philippines, sour flavors are very important. They make the food refreshing, especially in a hot climate. Sinigang is the kind of dish that feels like home cooking. It is not fancy restaurant food first. It is usually eaten with rice. You take a spoonful of sour broth, some tender meat, some vegetables, and rice, And suddenly you understand why so many Filipinos love this dish so deeply. 3. Lechon. Now we go from everyday comfort food to celebration food. Lechon. Lechon is whole roasted pig, usually cooked slowly until the skin becomes incredibly crispy and the meat stays juicy. This is not a small dish. This is a centerpiece. Lechon is often served at big celebrations: weddings, birthdays, fiestas, holidays, and major family gatherings. The most famous version is often associated with Cebu, where the pig is stuffed with aromatics like lemongrass, garlic, onions, and spices before roasting. The skin becomes glassy and crispy, and people often fight, politely or not so politely, for the best pieces of skin. There are different regional styles. Some are served with a liver-based sauce. Some are so flavorful from the stuffing that they need very little sauce at all. Of course, this is a very meat-heavy dish, so it is not something everyone eats. But culturally, lechon is one of the most important Filipino celebration foods. If you see lechon at a party, it means something special is happening. Number 4. Pancit. Pancit refers to Filipino noodle dishes, and there are many versions. The word itself comes from Chinese influence because noodles came to the Philippines through Chinese traders and immigrants. But like so many dishes in Filipino cuisine, pancit became completely Filipino over time. There is pancit bihon, made with thin rice noodles. There is pancit canton, made with wheat noodles. There is pancit malabon, a thicker, seafood-heavy version, and there are many more. Pancit is often served at birthdays because noodles symbolize long life. This idea came from Chinese food tradition, but it became a beloved Filipino custom. Most versions of pancit include noodles stir-fried with vegetables, meat, seafood, garlic, onions, and sometimes calamansi squeezed on top. That little squeeze of calamansi is important. It wakes everything up. Pancit is the kind of food that works for almost anything: family dinner, party tray, holiday table, office celebration, or quick meal. It is simple, satisfying, and very shareable. And that is a big theme in Filipino food. Food is made to be shared. 5. Lumpia. Lumpia are Filipino spring rolls, and one of the most popular versions is lumpiang Shanghai. These are small, crispy fried rolls, usually filled with ground pork, vegetables, garlic, onions, and seasoning. They are fried until golden and crunchy, then served with a sweet chili sauce or a banana ketchup-style dipping sauce. And let's be honest, this is dangerous party food. You say, "I'll just have one." Then suddenly, you had 6. Lumpia is another dish with Chinese roots, but the Filipino version has its own identity. It is thinner, crispier, and often smaller than many other spring rolls. There are also fresh versions, called lumpiang sariwa, which are not fried. These are filled with vegetables and served with a sweet, savory sauce. But the fried party version is probably the one many people know first. At Filipino gatherings, if there is a tray of lumpia, that tray disappears fast. Very fast.
Next is one of the most unique Filipino stews, Kare-Kare. Kare-Kare is a rich stew with a peanut-based sauce. It is usually made with oxtail, beef, tripe, or other cuts of meat, along with vegetables like eggplant, banana blossom, string beans, and bok choy. The sauce is thick, mild, nutty, and earthy. But the dish is not complete without bagoong, which is fermented shrimp paste. And this is where the flavor becomes very Filipino. The stew itself is rich and mild, but the bagoong is salty, funky, powerful, and intense. You add a little bit on the side, mix it with the sauce, and suddenly the whole dish comes alive. Kare-Kare is a good example of balance. Rich peanut sauce, tender meat, vegetables, salty fermented shrimp paste, rice. It is not supposed to be eaten alone. It needs the rice, and it needs the bagoong. For people trying it for the first time, bagoong can be strong, but once you understand the role it plays, the dish makes much more sense. Number 7. And now, sisig. Sisig is one of the great Filipino drinking foods, party foods, and sizzling plate foods. The most famous version comes from Pampanga, a province known for its strong food culture. Traditionally, sisig was made with chopped parts of pig's head and liver, seasoned with calamansi, onions, chili, and sometimes served sizzling hot on a metal plate. What makes sisig so good is texture and flavor. You get crispy bits, tender bits, fatty bits, sour calamansi, sharp onion, heat from chili, and sometimes an egg mixed in on the hot plate. This is not gentle food. This is bold food. And today, sisig has become one of the dishes that many non-Filipinos fall in love with quickly because it has that perfect combination of crispy, fatty, sour, and spicy. For a vegetarian version, tofu sisig is actually excellent. So for my vegetarian viewers, Filipino food also has room for creativity. And number 8, chicken inasal. Chicken inasal is Filipino grilled chicken, especially associated with Bacolod and the Western Visayas region. The chicken is marinated with calamansi, vinegar, garlic, ginger, lemongrass, and annatto oil. Annatto gives the chicken a beautiful orange-red color and a slightly earthy flavor. Then the chicken is grilled over charcoal and basted while cooking. The result is smoky, juicy, tangy, garlicky, and aromatic. Chicken inasal is usually served with rice, and often with a dipping sauce made from soy sauce, vinegar, calamansi, chili, and sometimes chicken oil. This dish shows another side of Filipino food, grilling. Because the Philippines is an island country with a warm climate, grilled food is everywhere. Chicken, pork barbecue, seafood, fish, squid, and many kinds of street food. Chicken inasal is one of the most famous grilled dishes, and it is a perfect example of how Filipino food uses acidity to make rich food feel fresh. 9. Now we need to talk about something that surprises many people, Filipino spaghetti. Yes, spaghetti. But not Italian spaghetti. Filipino spaghetti is sweet, red, saucy, and often made with banana ketchup, ground meat, hot dogs, and grated cheese. For people expecting Italian pasta, this can be confusing. But this dish is not trying to be Italian. It is Filipino party spaghetti. It is strongly associated with birthdays, family gatherings, children's parties, and especially the famous Filipino fast food chain, Jollibee. The sauce is sweeter than Italian tomato sauce, and the hot dogs make it playful and nostalgic. Some people love it immediately, some people need time to understand it, but culturally, it matters. And finally, number 10, dessert, halo-halo. Halo-halo means mix-mix, and that is exactly what you do. This is one of the most famous Filipino desserts. It usually includes shaved ice, evaporated milk, sweet beans, jellies, coconut strips, fruits, ube, leche flan, sometimes sweet corn, sometimes ice cream, and many other ingredients. It is colorful, cold, sweet, creamy, crunchy, chewy, and refreshing. And yes, for someone trying it for the first time, it can look chaotic. But that is the point. You do not eat halo-halo carefully layer by layer. You mix it. That is why it is called halo-halo. It is like a whole dessert world in one glass. And in a tropical country like the Philippines, a cold dessert like halo-halo makes perfect sense. It is fun, colorful, and completely unforgettable.
So if you have never tried Filipino food before, start with adobo, sinigang, lumpia, pancit, or halo-halo. And if you already know Filipino food, tell me in the comments, what dish did I miss? Because I know there are many. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to Cooking Show at Home, and share it with someone who loves discovering food from around the world. And if you are from the Philippines, or if Filipino food is part of your family story, please write in the comments what dish reminds you most of home. I would love to learn from you. See you in the next video. Bye!